Righty-ho, it's great to interview next on my show, my next special guest. We have Tasmin Archer on a live interactive interview right now.
Hello.
Hello, how is life treating you today, Tasmin?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm holding up all right.
Great, and it's an exciting time for you because you got a new single and album out.
Yeah. Well, this is the third single. The first single that we had out a few weeks ago was the Vibration of Life. That was the first single. And then the second single was Segregation Seeds. And now we've got Freefall, which is the third single of the album. And the album's out already. It's been out since last Friday and it's doing okay. People are liking it.
Beautiful. Great to hear. It's been well received. And I just
Yeah.
wanted to ask, from the start. So what was it? Can you tell me what it was like starting off life as a singer-songwriter? Where did it all kind of begin for you, really?
Right. Well, when I was younger, I was always into music. I'm the youngest of four in our family, in the siblings, and they're all different genres that they would listen to. My elder sister would listen to soul and funk and things like that. My older brother was into, let's say it was Kate Bush and ABBA and things like that. And then my other brothers, which is just 2 years older than me, just under 2 years older than me, he was into punk and the Smiths and various types of music, a bit eclectic and out there. And so I got all the music handed down to me, and my parents were into reggae, of course, coming from Jamaica. And and my mom used to listen to artists like very sort of obscure type, well, not, very different, like Joseph Locke, who's sort of a very Irish classic singer back in the day in the maybe early 50s, 40s, that kind of thing. And then she also had an album by Joe Stafford, who would have been thought of as perhaps a pop singer of her day, you know. So she gave me an album of her songs, and when I was quite young, and I used to play those over and over and over on my little record player in my room. And I'd just kind of work on my technique and listen to her and see where she was breathing and what sort of tone she was getting. And there was lots of other artists throughout my childhood that I'd listened to that I sort of like learnt to sing from. But I was quite shy, so I'd sing quite quietly in my room. And then I'd write my own stuff, little bits of ditty ideas that I'd come up with and I'd save them on a little cassette and put them in a little briefcase that I had at the time and I'd just shove it under my bed so nobody could hear it. Um, and then as I got older, obviously when I left school, I joined some local bands and did backing vocals for them and we used to go out, do the clubs and do covers and things like that. So that helped me come out of my shell. And as I progressed, I sort of found myself in being the lead singer in a local band that I joined, and from then on, I sort of got introduced to John Hughes and John Beck, who were my turned out to be then. We got together and started writing together our own original material, and they encouraged me to write with them and. At that time, we made quite a few demos of songs that we had, like Sleeping Satellite was one of the demos on the demos that we sent to um, publishers, music publishers, and record labels. And yeah, I had Sleeping Satellite and Laws of the New Church and In Your Care. A lot of the songs that were on Great Expectations were the on the early demo that we sent out. We didn't initially get anybody to buy, but after a while, we got signed by Virgin Music Publishers, who then introduced us to our manager at that time, Ian McAndrew. Then between all three of us, we persuaded EMI to sign us, and it took off from there. And we went into a plush recording studio with great musicians, which I loved, and made Great Expectations, and Sleeping Satellite took off and went to number one. And I didn't realize it was going to get to number one, but I hoped that it would do well, at the time. So yeah, that's how it all began.
Wow, some beautiful memories there. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, of course, Sleeping Satellite still being played on many radios today. Is that a very
Yeah.
proud feeling as well?
Yeah, I'm happy because I mean, at the time when we wrote the song, I remember feeling that this was a good song. It had a good vibe to it. It was very open and inclusive in the vibe that it was giving out, and I just thought that it was going to. I just wanted to share it with people. Really, we all wanted to just share what we made with people and see where that kind of led, and it led to it going to number one and being recognized around the whole world, and the album did well worldwide, and everything just took off from there. Yeah.
Amazing. And on to today, you mentioned that you're busy promoting and plugging your new single, Freefall. I've had a
Yeah.
listen, and it's a beautiful song, very kind to
Thank
the
you.
ear as well.
Thank you. I'm glad that it is. Well, that was intentional because I mean the song we wanted a very close, warm feeling to it because of course the lyrics subject matter is about unconditional love and unconditional love of freedom, true freedom. Um, on multiple levels, we write songs that have got underlying flavors of what the subject is about. So it leaves it wide open for people to interpret it in many different ways. And on one level, it's a love song, but on another level, it's just about a reminder, really, that you won't find unconditional love without first loving yourself unconditionally. And so that we felt like that was a good message, for us all in these times. So yeah,
And you said this is the third release off your new album, The
yeah,
Cauldron of Random Notes,
notes,
which is
yeah.
out now on all good outlets. How did you decide on your album's title? Because I really do like the sound of Cauldron of Random Notes.
Yeah, John came up with that idea, and we had we had a bunch of songs that we'd set a plan to record about 30 at the time from about 100 that we had, but we had a huge catalogue that was more than that. It was hundreds in its hundreds. And that was around about the time of the pandemic that we sat down and thought, well, just let's have a listen to what we've got because we accumulated so much. Um, and we thought, well, some of these are really good, so why not just finish them and don't put any pressure on putting an album out or anything, just to satisfy our own muse, really, and just complete them. So we set a plan to do 30 songs, and from those 30 songs, we came up with the 11 songs that we felt had a cohesive feel about them. And John came up with the idea, as I say, for the album title, A Cauldron of Random Notes. And a cauldron is just say like a metaphor for a vessel that's holding a body of work and just something that's bubbling over and wants to come out. And so it's just about not just notes, musical notes, it's notes on life. And so we felt it was apt to use that title.
Very good. Yeah, with Cauldron, people might think like a mixing pot as well,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then t take notes. Like of like life mottos maybe.
Yeah, well, these songs have this, even though they have a cohesive feel about them, there is still quite a diverse range of emotions in there with each track that you go through, um, and also a blend of musical flavors as well in there. So, I mean, with us putting the songs together and making sure that they work well together, we're thinking of it in terms of, say, akin to a book. And, there's paragraphs in the book and we move through it in that way. So it feels organic and it feels natural, a natural flow.
Yeah. And back in the day, say like in the 90s, where people used to visit like shops, they could
Yeah,
buy like the physical copy with the artwork,
yeah,
um, which was a nice feeling. On
yes,
your cover artwork, I really like it because it has a bit of abstract art in there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
do you really feel that portrays the essence of this record?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because it's leaving it open to interpretation of what that artwork is. And also, it does actually um, touch on being a cauldron with it swirling around and things like that. So we felt that it was quite an apt piece of artwork to represent the body of work that we're putting out at the moment.
Excellent. And I just wanted to chat about some of your tracks from the Cauldron of Random Notes. The
Yeah,
opening track you mentioned was A Vibration of Life. Did you feel
yeah.
that was the ideal introductory number to the album?
Yeah, we both felt that way, and even those people that the small amount of people that we let listen to the tracks felt, yes, that was the one, really. That it was all inclusive and it had a lot of, I mean, it's such a trip that song, that track. It goes from, lo-fi to into really being out, and then back into a kind of a meditative sort of feel in the middle A, and then it goes out into this sort of bluesy ad lib thing, and then there's at the end there's this kind of more introvert in going in at the end of the instrumental, right, the outro, which I think it's a quite a trip that we take you on with that with that song. So yes, we felt that that was a good one to release first off the album. We give you an idea of how expansive we are with what we're doing.
And the Vibration of Life, track number one off your new album, that will nicely take you on to the next track, if I'm hopefully correct. It's A Silent Witness. What
Yeah.
does this song paint the picture for the listener?
Well, it's just about war, really. It's about looking at it introspectively and from a philosophical point of view that by our own sort of being silent about these sorts of things that are going on in the world, and then feeling also a little bit not helpless, but can we do anything really to stop all of this? These kinds of wars being erupting in the world today, and it's just looking at it from a very introspective point of view, asking what you can do and if you can do anything, with these sorts of things going on.
And another track you have on your album is called Hysteria as well. Did you
Yeah.
enjoy writing and recording this one?
Yes, we started off with very, very so much so sometimes we'll start out with a loop and that will give the flavor of what we're going to be aiming at. And it always had that sort of feeling of just being quite deep with it, looking at how hysteria comes about and how it can be used in a way to just control a situation. So
Mm.
yeah, um, it was something. It was one of those tracks that we knew we wanted to finish. It was one that we wanted to put out there quite quickly because it seems quite sort of poignant in what's happening in the world today. And
And next question. Do you have any plans, or will there be plans to embark on a tour of towns and cities in the UK?
at the moment, with this album, we want to see it run its course. And as I said, it's just myself and John Hughes. Um, we do everything from the making the music, writing the music, to promoting the music, to doing the videos for the music, everything. And it takes a lot of effort and time. So we want to be strategic with the time that we put in to which areas, and also because we've got a lot in the pipeline that are coming up in quick succession after this album's run its course. We don't want to, lose the flow of that. And yes, we'd love to do some live shows because I mean, there's nothing like doing a live show, in my opinion. I mean, because it's the proper connection that you get. And yeah, we're just going to look for a
Mm.
strategic time that we can actually take the time off, rehearse the band, and then slot it in without losing a step, really. Because as an artist, you just want to keep it creating. And so we
Mm.
want to make sure that we keep creating as well as having all these things going on.
Yeah. And when it does happen, when you do perform, like your live shows, you got the material, ready to perform.
Yeah. And I think also with this, we're reintroducing me back into the public eye, if you like, and just trying to build a profile back up because we've been, in our little hiatus for so long. So it takes time now then to rebuild that up. And once we've gotten that kind of the cogs moving in that area, we can find a little bit more space to fit everything in and to do the promotion as do the live work as help with promotion with the music in future.
That's understandable. And has there been a place in the UK or outside of the UK that has inspired your songwriting?
Um, yeah, yes, good question. Milan Girl. Um, that was actually about a true thing that happened when we were out in Milan. I think we were out there promoting things at the time, and we were out in some sort of shopping mall of kinds because I think we might have been on our way to doing some promotion somewhere, and there was a lady that had actually tried to pick my partner's pocket quite aggressively, and so we were just always wondering what had made her do that and what happened in her life to where she'd come to cross our paths and was doing such a thing. And so it sparked our imagination. And yeah, so that song is loosely based about what happened at that time and looking at perhaps imagining her life.
And I wanted to ask a penultimate question for you. It seems the 90s are very popular, and the next generation of kids are discovering, the old Top of the Pops programs rerun.
Yeah.
Do you look fondly back at some of your old live TV appearances, performances?
I don't always watch them, I'm afraid. I mean, I just don't watch them. I'll see them occasionally if somebody points something out to me, and I'm intrigued to know if what I was doing back then, what I felt back then, and things like that, just to look. But I don't sort of go out my way to look at those things. No, I always get people coming up to me and telling me you were on this program on the rerun of, or the old look back at Top of the Pops or something like that. It's nice. It's really nice that people are rediscovering, because I get that all the time. There's younger people coming up to me, oh, my father liked your songs, or my mum liked your songs. And I mean, I don't actually feel old when they say it. I just think, oh, wow, that's great.
Fantastic to hear, though. And where's best for people to follow you on social media, emailing lists, or if you have a website, just to keep updated with everything?
Yeah, I'm on, well, you can come on my website, it's tasminarcher.com, and there's various things on there. You can sign up to the newsletter and, subscribe and all that good stuff. And also, there's quite a lot of information that goes on there that perhaps it doesn't end up on social media and things like that. So it's always worthwhile to check that out. And we're on YouTube. Our videos are on YouTube. We're actually in production with the next music video for Freefall, so that'll be out soon. So anybody who wants to check that out and know when it's going to be updated, and you can come on there and just subscribe, and you can get a notification to tell you when it's up straight away. Also, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those places, so you can find me there.
Brilliant. And I just want to say thank you very much for your contribution on today's show. And,
Oh,
we're
thanks for having me.
chatting, about your new album as well, Cauldron of Random Notes out now, and
Yeah,
accompanied single Free Fall as well.
yeah, yeah.
And
Thank you for having me.
you're welcome, and the very best of luck with this new project as well.
Oh, thank you, Danny. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Tasmin Archer on today's show, special guest.